How you doing, guys? How you doing? I did a wee video the other day that included some stuff about how your friends, even though they're close, can be sabotaging your efforts to improve yourself. And what I didn't think of at the time, but have thought about since, is how we can sabotage our own lives. Yeah, and it's commonly, I think it's because when we're young and if we grow up in a traumatic environment that's chaotic and stuff like that, like that's almost our normal. Yeah, like that's our baseline. So even though as we get older and mature and become adults, and we're trying to stabilize our lives and make them kind of a little bit comfortable and predictable, right? So you've got a job that you know well, that you can go to work and you're not freaking out. It's kind of mildly challenging, which keeps it interesting, which is great, you know, and your life is kind of stable and everything's great. But it can feel very uncomfortable for people who've been through a lot of trauma, yeah? And so when you get to this point where everything is kind of nice and comfortable, it feels comfortable, feels very uncomfortable. And so what you can do is create drama where there is none, just so that it's familiar, because you're used to this chaotic thing from childhood, and it's a familiar state in your life. And then when everything's going great, all you're thinking is something's going to go wrong. I know it is. So what you do is you create the thing, yeah? Like whether it's messing up your relationship, whether it's creating dramas at work, whatever it happens to be, you're going to try and find a way to mess it up, right? And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, things are all messed up. Like, but in your head, you're like, this is nice and familiar now. Like I knew something was going to go wrong and I made it go wrong. But at least I'm in control of this chaos. At least I'm in control of when this thing's going to happen. And it's kind of messed up, right? You would think that we want the best for ourselves and we always do the right thing for ourselves, and it's other people that mess stuff up for us. But sometimes we're the ones to blame. And so I'm, like I kind of have the opposite in that I suffer imposter syndrome a lot, is that I always feel like I'm not doing enough and I'm not doing well enough, and especially relating to jiu-jitsu, is like I'm like, I don't deserve this belt, I need to be better, I should be doing this, and I'm constantly trying to improve myself to be better. But in my past, for sure, when everything's been great and going well, that especially like in relationships, it took me the longest time to be able to actually have a relationship. Unbeknownst to me, it was because I'd never heard my mother say I love you. Now that sounds like a strange thing that you would never remember, right? That you would be aware of that. But if you've never heard it, how do you know that you're missing it? Yeah? And so like that was a revelation. It completely changed my life. But that's an example of things that can be going on that you're not aware of. And so if you are a person who's had trauma in your childhood and, your life seems to be a little chaotic, but then it's nice, just pay attention, because sometimes it's not the people around you who are messing things up. Sometimes it's you. And whether it's conscious or subconscious, like, look at yourself and make sure that you're not the one that's screwing things up. That when things are nice and calm and controlled and stable and you've got, everything seems to be going so well right now. Yeah? Watch that. See what happens. Is it really somebody else that's come along and screwed things up? Or are you self-sabotaging? Yeah? Because it's familiar. Maybe you don't really believe, like maybe you want to achieve things. Maybe there's, let's say, a jiu-jitsu goal that you want to achieve. You want to win a title or something like that, And maybe you're going to tell everybody, I'm going to go do this thing, or you've decided on yourself you're going to do that thing. And then on the way there, you find that it's quite difficult to actually do it. Are you going to like deliberately party a little bit, not stretch enough, start avoiding things, start sabotaging it so that it's difficult? It's one of the things I enjoyed about competing in jiu-jitsu is the simplicity of it. When I was bike racing, I'd have 1,000 tools and half a dozen bikes, and when you went to a race, you'd take all this stuff with you. You know, there was always punches and mechanicals and things going wrong, and the airline breaking your bike. Like, there was always stuff happening. Yeah. And then when I started competing in jiu-jitsu, I was like, it's all on me. It's me and a pair of pajamas, and I can't blame the pajamas. So I like the fact that if I did well, hey, pat on the back for me. If I didn't do well, well, that's on me too. I can't blame anybody else. It's not my pajamas. It's all on me. And I love the simplicity of that. That I hated training 40 hours a week to go to a bike race to win the race. And then my bike falls apart. And then your sponsors are up your butt going, why didn't you do this? And I'm like, it's not my fault. The damn bike broke, right? You know? So that's something I really like about jiu-jitsu. I love it. It's just pajamas and me, and it ain't the pajamas' fault, right? It's all on me. And so whether I do well or whether I don't, it's all on me. It's not on anybody else. It's not on my coach. It's not on my girlfriend. It's not on my dog. It's me. Yeah? Right? And I really like that. But some people don't want to face responsibility. They don't want that sort of pressure. They've set a goal for themselves. They're on their way to try and achieve it. And then when they realize like they're the ones that have to do all the work, they're going to find excuses and reasons and other things to blame, when there's a very good chance that it's you that's the one doing the sabotage. So for those of you out there, and I know that a lot of the people on my YouTube channel, because you reach out to me privately and tell me how much you enjoy the videos that I do like this, that's why I do them, because I get so much feedback from people about the positive sides of them, that it helps awaken ideas in them and stuff like that. And I'm no psychologist. I wanted to be one, but this is kind of my way of everything that I kind of learn about myself. And I study a lot of psychology stuff, a lot of mental things, podcasts, books, you name it. I absorb all of it every day. And when I learn things, I try and pass on my own personal learnings through these videos so that other people maybe, can benefit from them. So I hope that you are. A number of you are, I know, because you tell me. So this is not about me. I'm just kind of a voice. But I hope that helps. So don't just keep an eye on the people around you. For sure, make sure that you have positive people around you, people who challenge you. If you're the smartest guy in the room, then you're not really pushing yourself. If you're the best jiu-jitsu practitioner in the room, then you're probably not pushing yourself. You're probably not seeking out the right people. It doesn't mean you have to get smashed. It just means like being around people who will point out shortcomings of yours, people that are going to be honest with you, and that's an act of love. When people criticize or try and give you advice, sometimes it stings, but that pain point gives you an idea that maybe they were right. Even if somebody says something you don't like them, you're like, that guy, right? He doesn't know what he's on about. Well, that strong reaction of yours probably tells you that a part of it was true. So there's a lot to this game, and jiu-jitsu for sure reveals our strengths and weaknesses a lot and makes us, it's a difficult thing, man. Like getting your black belt, going through all the dramas and the ups and downs and injuries and mental and physical challenges on the way. It's not an easy thing. It's very difficult. And every belt requires a change in your mindset, it requires a change in your body. It requires a change in your attitude towards the training, towards yourself, towards your partners. It's not just a collection of techniques, because to persevere when you're trying to achieve difficult things, like that takes resilience, and that's the number one thing that we develop. You know, like I was training this morning, it sucked, I felt terrible. You know, I popped my knee, which hurt a bit, but I know why my knee popped, you know. But, you know, like I'm driving home, I have all these negative thoughts in my head, you know, and then I just have to go, you know what, it's just a part of it, man. It's just one of those days. There's going to be more. There's been thousands before, you know. I'm not always at my best. I know exactly why I'm not at my best today, and that's fine. You know, you just clean slate, get on with it. It's another day, and tomorrow will be better. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this.